Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is releasing in just a couple of weeks. In terms of its roster, it's being advertised as the biggest Sonic racing game ever. I think we're going to get at least 24 different Sonic characters to start, but it doesn't end there because there's a huge emphasis on these crossover DLC characters. We have confirmed racers such as Pac-Man, Alex and Steve from Minecraft with Minecraft-themed worlds. We have SpongeBob, Patrick, TMNT, Avatar. We also have Hatsune Miku playable. Like, this game is going to be absolutely massive. It's almost like the Super Smash Bros of kart racers. As a matter of fact, I think there's more guest DLC characters than actual characters that appeared in Team Sonic Racing. So the ambition is certainly there. But I think what interests me most is the inclusion of characters like the Hedgehog, as well as the Sonic Prime characters that are going to be featured in the game. So me, naturally, as a Sonic fan, I want to know which Sonic characters are going to make it into the game. So let's talk about our top 10 most wanted characters for me in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. And let me know your list too. Starting at number 10. Okay, that was rage bait and a complete joke. I hope people didn't click off the video. Let's get into the actual number 10. So at number 10, I put some of the IDW characters. I figured we'd classify them all together because it feels like it's hard to put one without the other. So Tangle, Whisper, Surge. It kind of feels like these characters, out of all the other original characters in the IDW series, kind of fit the most with the main cast. And over the years, at least within like the Sonic community, have definitely become fan favorite characters. Given the fact that the IDW comics have been confirmed to be canon to the games, what better way to introduce these characters to the actual video games by putting them in the spin-off racer game? I feel like the possibilities are endless. Trip to Sungazer is certainly an interesting case because while she is a new character, technically in terms of the mainline continuity, she hasn't been seen since Superstars, which is confirmed to take place in the past. Trip is definitely a cool character that people definitely like, but what I find to be one of the most interesting cases for her inclusion in the game is the fact that there's a Sonic Superstars map in the game. So we get to visit the North Star Islands and presumably maybe she still lives there. It would be cool to one, either see her in her classic form or see what a modern version of the character looks like. So, I think after Sonic Superstars, it's kind of safe to say that none of us ever wanted to see this little disgusting rat ever again. If you played the final boss of the game where you go up against him and rage quit for hours and hours like I did, you probably feel the same way. But in the early days of the Sonic franchise, Fang was kind of this persistent threat against classic Sonic and his friends. But given his role in Sonic Superstars, as well as his own IDW one-shot comic series, it kind of feels like Fang has regained some prominence. He's another one of those characters that technically has not been spotted in the mainline continuity since the classic days. Plus, like I said before, with the inclusion of the North Star Islands, maybe it'd be a perfect time to throw him as a character in the game, considering he's fresh in everybody's mind. It also wouldn't hurt to hit him with a couple of items. A modern model of Fang has recently resurfaced for the Sonic Blitz card game, so maybe it's only a matter of time before he makes an appearance in the game and we get to see him fully grown up. The Tails doll is kind of an interesting case. Is there really a reason to include him? I mean, honestly, no. But if you think about it, Tails doll is a legendary meme within the Sonic community. He was featured in the first ever 3D Sonic racing game. So if you think about it, it would actually be fitting to include him in this one as some type of like unlockable meme or Easter egg. Over the years, we've seen some appearances from him in the franchise, most notably in the comic books, as well as Sonic Superstars recently. Sega seems to be fully aware of his internet infamy, so I feel like players would really appreciate having him in the game as a callback to the original Sonic racing games. Mighty and Ray are another interesting case due to the fact that they have not been seen in the Sonic franchise for a long time as well. Basically, they were introduced back in the day. They had a couple appearances in the classic era, but for the most part, they were basically missing. After a brief appearance in Sonic Mania, they once again faded away, but they didn't fade into obscurity. There are still people that are big fans of both of these characters to this day, and there was even a recent Tales Tube episode where they were both mentioned, so it feels like it's only a matter of time before they eventually get reintroduced to the series, because once again, in the new Sonic Blitz card game, modern models for Mighty the Armadillo were discovered in the files. So with huge fan demand for both of these characters to make an appearance, especially in the modern games, it would feel wrong to leave them off this list. Recently, over the years, alternative skins for the Sonic characters have become extremely popular. With recent mobile titles like Sonic Speed Simulator, Sonic Forces Speed Battle, Sonic Dash, Sonic Rumble. Okay, Sonic Rumble's never coming out. One of the things that have become extremely popular for fans of the series is all the alternative costumes that the characters wear in these games. With some level of alternative costumes already being available when you pre-order the game, it just feels like it would make a lot of sense for them to try to add as many costumes as they can. Given the fact that we, one, already have a roadmap, but two, the game game has an official Twitter account, it seems likely that we're going to get some level of live service support. So it feels like them adding more costumes can potentially extend the life cycle of the game. I mean, if you think of games like Fortnite, that's practically their entire business model. So I don't see how it can necessarily hurt, because seeing Sonic on the Extreme Gear with his regular outfit and not the rider's clothes just feels so off to me. Now, hopefully it can be included in the deluxe version, and maybe some of them can be unlockable for free. But I think regardless, they should find a way to sneak in as many costumes as possible. Super Shadow has certainly risen back into prominence. After not being seen in the series for a very long time, he was spotted in Sonic Movie 3 on the big screen. And what else is there really to say? I mean, I just love the super forms for the characters. I feel like Super Shadow is obviously really cool. We also know that Super Sonic is already a confirmed character for Racing Cross Worlds. And according to the new Sonic Racing Cross Worlds animation, Sega seemingly forgot that Sonic's the main character anyways, and now Shadow has taken over. You might as well throw him in the game and make him some type of unlockable. Hey, maybe if you're feeling some type of way, throw Super Silver in there. I don't think the fans would complain about it, right? So, the movie Sonic characters are obviously extremely popular, as Sonic Movie 3 is the highest rated video game film ever and also the highest grossing of the entire trilogy. I'm sure people wouldn't mind seeing these characters in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. As a matter of fact, movie character DLC has already spilled over into the main game with Sonic and Shadow Generations, where we got the Shadow movie pack. The single level that we got was definitely overpriced, but you know, it was still pretty cool. And they've also 3D modeled Shadow already. But there's something really interesting about the inclusion of these characters, and this is the reason why I kept it up so high on the list. So Sega has recently come out and said that they have no plans for Sonic movie content in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. The reason why they said they won't include the movie characters in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is because currently there's no movie out, so why would they promote the Sonic movie characters? But Sonic Movie 4 already has a confirmed release date of March 19th, 2027, so we're definitely some ways out from that. If Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is extremely successful, it's positively received, it's making a lot of money, it breaks sales records or whatever, I would imagine that they could potentially continue support for this game for years to come. If we get to the point where we're getting close to 2027, let's say like December or January 2026, 2027, the game's doing well, I would definitely be surprised if we didn't get Sonic movie packs in the game. So basically, that means the game is a huge success, which means we'll probably get movie characters. The reason why Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is one of the highest selling and most successful Nintendo games of all time is probably due to the fact that they got so much post-launch support. I think they added like 100 tracks into this game total. So if movie characters somehow make it into Cross Worlds, that means a lot of good things have happened. We probably got a bunch of tracks and extra stuff. So that's kind of my thought process with that. So, Neo Metal Sonic is once again yet another interesting case. I mean, if you think about it, Metal Sonic himself is already in Cross Worlds. But do you know what the problem is? In all of the unique dialogue interactions with the other characters, Metal Sonic does not talk. When he transforms into his Neo form, he's actually able to speak. So I think the inclusion of Neo Metal Sonic in the game would be the perfect reason to hear him interact with all of the other characters. Now, this is certainly wishful thinking, but Neo Metal Sonic was voiced in Sonic and Shadow Generations, so it's wishful thinking, but it's certainly not impossible. Let's also not forget that he just has a really cool design. He's also been in all of the mobile games, so why not throw him in this game, right? Whether you love him or hate him, classic Sonic just seems to be the hedgehog that can't go away. The first ever Sonic to drive a car was in fact classic Sonic, and iconic artwork such as this has been spawned since, so I think it would be kind of cool to include classic Sonic. Let's also not forget that there's an iOS Apple Arcade version of Sonic Racing, and it actually features classic Sonic as a playable character. He's already playable in a 3D kart racing game, so I don't see why not. And he was also released in that game for the 30th anniversary of Sonic. Starting in 2026, the 35th anniversary year for Sonic the Hedgehog will commence, so I feel like it'd be the perfect celebration to put classic Sonic in this game, considering that Sonic Racing Cross Worlds kind of feels like the ultimate love letter to Sonic and like a celebration of the franchise in general. We also know that all of the classic Sonic characters have 3D models already, so it would be really easy for them to be included into this game, so I think it would make sense.